Welcome to Punch Your Agents, the podcast where we throw punches at the real estate status quo. We're your hosts, Mike Shipman here.
And Daniel Nolan.
Join us as we dive into the world of real estate, sharing stories, insights, and expert advice on all things related to real estate.
So sit back, grab a drink, and get ready to punch your agents. All right. All right, man. Here we are today. Mr. Tommy Amonette, how are you doing today, sir?
Doing good. How about you guys?
Great.
Thanks for being on the show, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. I mean, well, I had to force you bribe you with some of this. What do you call this, Mike? What were we calling it earlier?
Pasadena piss water?
Or what else did you call it? You called it like fridge, what? You call it fridge something.
Fridge?
I don't know. You were making fridge water or some crap. But we're not sponsored by Michelob Ultra. But for today, to get Tommy here, it's what we had to do. Is supply him with a couple beers real quick.
Cheers, brothers.
So, cheers.
Sure.
There you go. So, man, you the other day, it was a few months ago. I just wanted to get into this one story because it's kind of funny. First of all, Tommy is a home inspector. You run pillar to post. You're the Amonette team. You have a few people under you. How long you been inspecting now?
9 years.
Damn, it's been that long, huh?
Went by fast.
Yeah. But yeah, so Tommy basically does the majority of my inspections as long as, because anyone in our role, what we have to do is we're supposed to give out a few different people, right? But then everyone asks who I actually use, and I'll give them a list of people, and I'm like, well, this is the person that has inspected my houses.
It's like, here's 3 names, but put a little asterisk by this name.
Hypothetically.
Start at the top. Yeah.
Yeah. Stay close to the microphone, Tommy. You got to be a little close to it. There you go. You can pull it closer to you, too, if you need to. Whatever you got to do. I think it goes any further. Who knows?
There you go.
There you go. All right. So anyways, man, you've been doing this for, almost 10 years now. You've built up a team. You do really good, man. You've, built a really good business. You got people under you.
I see your name everywhere, by the way.
Cool.
Yeah, for your business. I sure do, man.
Tommy doesn't even know what online is. Like,
Yeah.
his online stuff is all his wife that gets on there for him for the most part.
We're actually hired an assistant to take care
Okay.
of social media.
How old are you, man?
47.
47.
Forgot.
Okay.
I'm at that age where I'm like,
I'm 50. I'll be 52 next month, and I'm old school too. I like analog. Like, what's this game box thing? Like every game system is a game box.
Yeah.
Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. It
Doesn't matter what game it is, you're blowing on it, trying to make it work like a Nintendo.
Yep.
the old games. Yeah.
You do that whenever like electrical plug isn't working in the house. Let me blow on this real quick. See if the old Nintendo thing
dust
works.
out. Yeah. Yep.
Dude, so I guess it was like a couple months ago, we had that house. Tommy did an inspection. One of his people did an inspection for me. And you had a call from a really, really, really nice listing agent. So what happened is I guess we went out there, the gas wasn't on, right?
Correct. Which
Yes.
is a common issue. I don't know why, but it's become very common that a vacant house, the sellers just let the gas get locked off. They don't pay the bill, I guess.
It happened to me.
Yeah.
It did.
Twice.
Twice.
Your new house just had it too.
Happened twice. Sure did, man.
And it's always vacant because
Yeah,
no one
right.
thinks they need to pay the bills.
Yeah. And gas is the cheapest utility you have. So I don't really understand why this is so common. And as a listing agent, I mean, one of the things you should do is make sure all utilities are on.
Yep. And then, it's hard. Sometimes during it, people will actually, you don't always check it when you go to the house. Like we try to go me and Mike on our team, we try to go at least a couple times a month to go check on a listing that we have. When things get turned off, you let the person know, they hopefully get it back on. And especially before an inspection, you should always go walk the house and make sure everything is on. Because if not, what happens when you come back out a second time, Tommy?
I get to charge $250 to come back to the seller.
Yes.
Yeah.
And why are they usually upset about that?
The seller?
Just the person.
Oh. Because they think I should come back for free.
Yeah.
They think I should just drive around all day for free and, spend half my day driving around. Yeah.
It's the main character syndrome where they're the main character. Like, I'm the only business you have. You don't have any other business, right? So
Right.
Just pay attention to me and help me out.
And like inspection people, they don't make a lot of money like per inspection. So they have to have a good amount of inspections. You know, it's not like, you know, if me and you have like just a couple listings, like, okay, you know, we're focusing on those. It's a big difference versus you run on an average day. How many inspections do y'all do like average, like especially when you're busy?
Busy, we do anywhere from 20 to 25 inspections a week. Yeah. So if, say, you know, now I've got to drive back to this house a second time.
And Katie.
Now I'm tying up a whole spot on my schedule that I only have so many spots available, you know, that I can fill in. I could be doing a complete other inspection, a full house inspection, instead of driving back over here. So, I mean, there's a reason why we have to charge.
Right. Time is
You're
money.
losing, and you're losing out on business.
Right.
You're losing out on the money you could have been making by doing another inspection.
Sure, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you got a call from this other agent after it was one of my listings.
Yes.
It wasn't my listing.
this
Sorry.
is
I had the
good.
buyer. Yeah. I had the buyer. And so this agent calls, I think she's a broker too or some crap, but she calls.
So she says. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, do you remember your conversation with her?
Yeah, vaguely.
Okay.
So, you know, every inspection also we schedule through MLS on Showing Smart, or we'll do Showing Time, or so, and then we get approval from the listing agent and the seller.
Right.
And that's when they give us access, you know, to get in the house, and we schedule time and everything. And so they approved all this, granted.
Even I got the notice that it was approved.
Then
They're showing smart. Or?
Well, no, I just got a text saying, you know, yeah, it was approved. Like, okay, cool. Like I knew it was happening.
Yeah.
She knew it was happening.
somebody
Right.
approved it. Yeah. You know,
Apparently.
And-
Apparently not in
and
her mind.
according to her, so yeah, she calls raising hell that I did not send her the correct information to, and that her other inspectors send her multiple emails.
Call
asking,
her personally
yeah,
every
call
time.
her personally.
Like,
And I was like, you know, I scheduled this and you approved it. And she said, well, I don't know what kind of inspection you're doing.
she said, you could have been doing a roof
Yeah,
inspection.
could have been doing a foundation inspection. I was like, it's a home inspection.
But she approved it.
I did do
approved
the
it.
roof. I did do the foundation. I did all that. And the gas appliances are included in a home inspection. I know you've been doing this for 20 years and didn't realize that. But, yeah, so she was highly upset that I was charging to come back. Then she got really upset. And then she said, well, I just need to speak to your manager, the owner of this company. So I paused, took a deep breath, and I said, well, ma'am, I happen to be the owner of the company. I wish I would have put the phone down for a second and said, let me put you on hold and I'll get him on the phone for you.
I'm still here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wait,
she
it's
was,
me.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
weird.
She ended up hanging up on me, didn't she?
She hung up
She
on
hung
you.
up on me.
Because then you're like, all right, well, I'm going to call Daniel and let him know that the
Right.
inspection's not going to be finished.
Yep. That you were not, you know, cooperating with us so I can finish the inspection. And she just got mad and hung up on me. And then 10 minutes later, she calls me back and gave me an email address to send her the invoice.
You know, it's funny though, at the time I was showing your rental house that I had listed for, to a client when you called me about that, when all that was happening.
Oh, yeah.
I was happened to be showing your
Yeah.
house like I had listed for Tommy. But yeah, that lady, I remember she sends me a screenshot of it. I sent her the screenshot because she was like, this was not approved. How is this happening? I was like, here, I sent you the screenshot that Tommy sent me showing that it was approved. And I was like, you approved this. And that's when she's like, I've never had anyone not call me personally. And I'm just like, dude, how long have you been doing this? You know?
At that point, she's grasping for straws at that point, dude. She's like
Yeah.
any little...
And it's her fault. And that was what
Yeah.
the problem is. Now she's got to go back to her seller and tell them they're paying my trip fee
Right.
when it's her fault,
Yeah.
you know. And
Or the deal falls apart.
Yeah.
Like you won't sell your house in the house, you know.
Yeah.
Take your pick. What do you want?
What she should have done is just paid it herself but
But you remember
she
what I
didn't do
told
that.
her? I called her and said, I was like, hey, we don't have to get either side involved. I'll split it with you. Make it nice
Oh,
and
that's
easy.
right. And she wouldn't do that.
No, and that's when she called you back and was like, oh, hey, my seller's going to pay for it. I'm like, that's $125. Like, trust me, I don't want to just hand out $125 if I don't have to. But I mean,
let's make this deal work.
Why make the seller upset or make the buyer upset? Because you don't ever want them to think that, man, it's too emotional of a purchase. You know, it's not like going and buying these Michelob Ultras at the convenience store. You know, it's like,
It makes you look incompetent as well.
yeah, dude, it's not always the best. Right. So, you know, like, it's just dumb. It was just a whole dumb thing. But what was funny is when I did actually meet her, she was super nice. Like, she was like, I had to doing the final walkthrough. She was there to get her sign and stuff, and she was like super nice. I'm like, okay, but whatever. You know, like as many times as I do want to punch an agent, like, you know, I mean, I try my best not to, you know. But yeah, man, working with agents is fun. I mean, you gotta love it.
There's a lot of good agents and there's a lot of bad agents. And
why are you looking at us?
yeah, it's like, why are you staring at us? No, I work with a lot of good agents though, but yeah, there's some bad ones that you're just shaking your head and just.
Yeah, sometimes I'm sure it's like new agents because I'm new, so I've had my license from last November. From last November to this November, it's been a year, and there's a lot of stuff that, you know, I don't know.
Right.
But I've been lucky, you know, with the first brokers I was with, they weren't willing to teach as much as I was paying them to teach me. But they did say, you know, be competent, that type of stuff.
Yeah. And I'm sure you see that all the time because, you know, like, I think the worst thing for you is, okay, what's the worst thing that you have happened during an inspection for you? Like, what is just, you already know this inspection is going to suck when someone's showing up. What's usually the worst part?
When somebody's showing up, what are you getting at?
Like for me, it's like whenever the parents show up.
Dad.
Dad.
When dad
it's always
gets
dad,
here.
right?
Yeah, it's always dad. Yeah.
You too, Dad.
Yeah.
Kick the tires, right, dude?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dad that, you know, you're just like, why did y'all hire me? If you're going to tell me everything, and then, you know, he's in your ear the whole time or whoever, and you're trying to do an inspection, and, oh, what about this over here? Did you see this over here? Did you see that over here? And, you know, yeah. But dad will kill a deal quick, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's usually because, I mean, they don't understand what you're looking for, too. So, I mean, what goes into, like, man, what do you think, like, how are you going to word that? You had a question for that earlier. What to look for in an inspection? Like,
So let's see. I got some questions here for you, Tommy. Sure. Okay, let's see. Let's start with this one. What are the most common issues you find during a home inspection? Like the most common.
The most common.
Besides the gas being turned off.
Right.
Yes.
A lot besides that. You know, a lot of foundation settlement. You see that quite a bit. That's just where we live.
Real common around here.
Right. I mean, it's the gumbo
Wet
that we
ground.
live on.
Yep.
Plumbing issues, you know. In new constructions, we find a lot of drainage issues.
Yes. Really?
Yeah. We've almost flooded a couple houses because the drains are just backed up. You start running stuff inside and
Is that due to like new dirt getting pulled up and it's not settling? The pipes aren't like
trash in the drains. Right. I found concrete in a drain one time with my sewer scope.
That happened here when we bought this house.
Really?
I guess the guys that were doing the house were just dumping shit inside of our, I guess the little cap.
The clean out.
Yeah, the clean out.
Right.
And I told my wife, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like these guys are dumping shit into the goddamn
That's
drain.
The main drain.
Yeah,
of the
dude.
house.
So
yeah,
how did I get a plumber to come out here, break all that shit up, and spray it all down? I was like, I just couldn't believe that they did that, dude. Like,
dude, it doesn't shock me.
Well, if you ever go in these when they're building these houses, you know they use the bathtubs and sinks for trash, and they're full of trash.
right.
Now you got sheetrock
like
and
mud
whatever.
water in there.
Yeah, bad stuff. You know, so
Beer cans, you know, heroin needles. It's all kinds of stuff laying around there. I mean, even when some of us went to those townhouses in Houston, you know, it would be like beautiful townhouse from the outside. And you get inside and you're like, it's, you know, not done being built. And even when it's going to be done, it's not going to be done well because they're just throwing that shit up. Like, it doesn't look good at all.
You'll get in these and you're like just shaking your head. What are these guys doing? Then you get in the attic and find all the beer cans. You're like, oh, that makes sense. Got it. They were drunk.
Makes a lot of sense now, right?
Yeah. Like none of them were cold. What the hell? At least leave me one up in this hot ass attic.
Yeah.
I would imagine that's one part that's got to suck for you. Summertime is summertime, Houston, Texas.
Bad.
Attics.
Attics are bad. Yeah.
So you don't need a sauna at your house because you just go up there in the summer.
There's, 140, 150 degrees, easy. And, there's always every year, there's a few weeks to a month that we go to nothing but morning inspections. We won't even do an afternoon inspection because it's so hot.
Right.
And then we're on our
Sure as
own.
hell can't get on a roof.
Right.
We have drones nowadays, so that's a smart move for you.
Yeah, yeah. But, when you're out there by yourself, if you fall out in an attic,
Who's going to help you?
Yeah, nobody's there with you. So, there's been times that I had to get in and out of an attic 2 and 3 times just because it's so hot, You get good at in the garages. You leave as soon as you get there, you open the ladder, pull down, let it air out, and try whatever
Get
you
some
can.
of that out of there.
Yeah, but it's pretty rough. Yeah, it's no joke. June, July, August, September.
Oh, you just keep on naming the months in
Yeah,
Houston.
yeah. February to November.
February, March. Man, have you ever been like when you're alone in like houses like that? Is there anything that's ever like kind of freaked you out or scared you a little bit, or anything ever weird happened to you, or just kind of not really?
You get in houses sometimes that are just creepy.
Yeah.
I did one time out in Anahuac, and it was this old 1940s house. And get out there, and I'm talking to the realtor on the phone, the buyer's agent. And it was out just a property by itself, and I'm getting the house opened up.
Like on some acreage, or
Yeah.
so not like a normal subdivision.
Right.
So it's not like
there.
right next door you
Right.
can touch somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
We're going to get Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes already.
So I go in this house, and it's vacant, completely empty, except for a radio playing some old Hank Williams Sr. country real low in the kitchen.
There's a tear
And I'm like,
in my beer.
And I'm talking to the agent when I walked in, and immediately I just kind of got little chills, or you just felt uncomfortable. And I was like, hey, I just walked in this house and it's weird. And she's like, I took 3 steps in that house. I got there before my buyer was there. And I turned around and went and waited in my car because I was so uncomfortable in that house.
My God.
You're like,
I was like, well, look, I'm going to turn this radio off, and I'm going to do my thing outside. And if I come back in and this radio's back on, I'm out. I'm gone. That one actually, I felt so uncomfortable in that house. Usually I sit up in the kitchen, and, I have, my computer, my my iPad, whatever. That's my home base is in the kitchen counter. And there was a door at each end of this house. It was kind of almost like a shotgun house with a door at each end.
did you
In
have
the
a
driveway,
shotgun?
no, I had a pistol. I did not bring my shotgun, just a pistol. But backed my truck up to one of those doors in the driveway, and I took all my stuff outside because it was just uncomfortable in that house.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've been in a couple that have been pretty weird. I'd had a radio thing a long time ago too. When I was first an agent, man, I would take any kind of deal, any kind of lead, anything I got. I think I was signed up with like one of the websites, and they would send you like, here, go show this buyer a house. It was an old Pasadena, like kind of off 225 and stuff, and I remember pulling on the street, and it's like this dead end street. There's a bunch of people outside, and I'm waiting for these new clients I've never met or anything. They supposedly were pre-approved at the time. I didn't care. I'm like brand new, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna show a house. This thing was, not a good house, but I remember walking in the door, and I saw something, heard something. I'm like, what the heck? And I start wondering, it was something like that. It's like an old school gray radio with like a little brown grill, and I'm like, dude, and it's playing some like Tejano music, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go wait for these people outside. And then I'm still waiting, and then there's all these neighbors that are kind of like hovering and starting to look at me weird, and I'm like, and then I remember I called those people again, and I had that feeling because they're like, oh, we're almost there, just wait one more second, and I'm just like, dude, there is something up, all of us are generally not scared of people in general, I've been around both of y'all where like, yeah, if you had to hypothetically punch somebody, neither one of y'all are scared to do it. Either am I. This time I was like, dude, I need to get the hell out of here because I don't think I got enough punches for all these people that are coming. Like, and it was just one of those really weird feelings where I was like, man, I'm getting the fuck out of here, dude. Yeah, so I felt like I was set up for something. Like it just didn't seem right, you know.
And they kept postponing. We'll be there in a minute. We'll be there in a minute.
And then after I left, and when I was like, hey, I left the house, blah blah blah, I never heard from them again. You know, and it was just like, all right, man. Obviously wasn't meant to be. And it was like a $45,000 piece of shit. I was just like, I was just trying to get more transactions to build myself up. You know, like that's all I was trying to do. But yeah. And then I had one off Young Street also when I was first an agent. I remember it was one of those where like that lady was saying that, and I did not like being in that house. Like I did not like being in it. And I remember I showed it to somebody once. It was on 4 acres. But you know, Young Street, you know, that's such a weird street, you know, like it's got, you know, a couple of churches, trailer parks, $1 million houses, like everything was on that street. Yeah, apartments. And I just remember like, man, I went in there and the person walked out and I was like, all right, let me go turn off the lights and everything. And I started to go to the back and I'm just like, dude, this doesn't feel right.
Like you feel like somebody's watching you the whole time.
And you feel that tingle feeling like Spidey sense type thing, you know? And I'm like, and I remember like, I'm going to run to this back door. Like running. You know, not that my running is very fast, but you know, I'm like, man, I'm getting the hell out of here. But yeah, there's sometimes, man, and it was my listing. Like I did not like to go there at nighttime at all. Like it was just
definitely be packing, dude.
Place
like that at night. Yeah, I'm packing, dude.
Yeah, I mean it's a weird thing, man. Sometimes because you know really what you do, you go meet strangers in houses and you're hoping they're okay,
right?
You know, I mean. Nowadays it's a little bit different, you're a little bit more established, stuff like that. So I kind of know, you know the pre-approval, you got to get all these letters and stuff now. But before it was just like, hey, you want to look at a house? Like, yeah, now like they're signed with you with all these paperwork and stuff we have to do. But man, that's definitely scary stuff. Like,
I always wondered about female realtors, you know, having to go do that or open houses,
right?
You know.
Yeah, because we're some rough and tough guys, dude, and like if it's giving us the heebie-jeebies, man, that's some lady in there, like, I can only imagine.
But the thing is, like with my wife, like if I think something weird's happening, I was like, oh no, everything's fine, you know. So it's probably just like don't even like think about it.
Push you in the house, go do it.
Yeah,
walk in the door.
It's like I hope he dies in there. Just up that life insurance policy. Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
Scary houses are weird. What other weird things you have?
Oh, man. I mean, I always think I've seen it all, and then something crazy just comes up. You're like, oh, never seen that. People do weird stuff.
Remember, you sent me this one, I think it was a few years ago. And if you did have the picture, I'll be able to put this online if you do. But if not, years ago when Tommy was first becoming a home inspector, I used to use a different inspector. Like, and he was cool. Someone gave him a shitload of money and he retired. But he was like, yeah, your friend can come out and, you know, walk this house with me and just kind of see what inspection stuff's like. I was like, thanks, man. And, but he would always say, I won't use infrared guns. People are going to get in trouble with those things. Tommy finds stuff all the time.
Constant.
Like he used to charge extra. I think now it's just part of your package for the most part.
We just use it in our normal inspection.
Because it's part of the right thing to do. Like, you found, they laid carpet. What was it? They laid hardwood flooring over carpet. And it was all wet underneath.
Yeah.
So just imagine like
it was
this
raining.
hardwood floor that you have.
It was raining and water was coming in from the wall. And I just happened to be there during a storm.
Yeah.
And I'm using that, and sure enough, it was
like going under the carpet. Yeah.
That's like they put wood floor over that carpet to try to cover it. So it's all moisture.
So that's like a sponge.
So he would. You probably wouldn't have. You might have seen it, but you definitely were gonna notice it. You know, with the infrared gun,
right?
Because you can pick up all kinds of stuff. That's good. Like when you're doing electrical boxes.
Oh yeah. So the infrared camera picks up temperature change.
Sorry, I'm from Texas. I say gun.
Yeah, sorry. You know, it's not, a lot of people think it's picking up moisture. No, it's picking up temperature change.
Right.
You know, but it's what we use is about a $2,000 camera and so we use it electric panels. We'll get everything in the house running, you know, AC, all your appliances, everything, every light's on. Then in about an hour, we'll go to the electric panel and check for overheating or overloading. Find it all the time, you know. Then we'll go, after we're running all the plumbing, we'll use the camera and ceilings and walls. And I can't tell you the number of times we find upstairs bathrooms toilet's leaking or something, and there's not a brown stain, there's nothing on the ceiling. You
Right.
can't. You'll put a flashlight on it, nothing, and sure enough, you got a leak there. So
Man, so like,
it's-
yeah, like if you didn't use a camera, like they'd be thinking, okay, everything's fine. There's no problem. But really, there is a problem that's underlying.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's crazy, man.
The one thing that I think, man, I think a lot of listing or buyer's agents, I think they don't want a good inspector. You need another beer, Tommy?
Please.
You hook it up, Mike? Yeah, look at that. Mike's bartending at his own house.
And-
Because, man, I know when I have certain agents, whenever I have a listing and I know that's coming in, I'm like,
Thank
well,
you, sir.
that's going to be an easy inspection, like because I know who they use sometimes. And it's, some half-ass agent that, or not half-ass agents, half-ass home inspector that's just like, hey, I'm the cheapest out here, and they're in the house for an hour. Like, what's a traditional? Let's say you're doing a 2-story, 2,000 square foot house. What goes into that for you?
3 hours minimum that we're at the house.
And that's usually just drinking beer.
That's it. Yeah, and then I get started after the 3 hour timer goes off.
From the attic or from you?
Now we'll spend 3 hours minimum in any house we're in.
Right.
And yeah, I get some agents sometimes. When we're scheduling, the listing agent will call and ask how long we're going to be there, and I've never had an inspector spend over 2 hours in a house. I mean, I've had that more than once. Just act like I'm crazy.
Like, how many houses are you buying?
Yeah, it's
Just
like,
come up with this number.
it's like, how have you never used an inspector that spends over 2 hours in a house? Okay, well,
Back in the day when you first started, you'd be like, well, there's an inspection report on it. Go ahead and send it to me. And because let's say the house was sold like 2 years ago, especially when the market was real hot, everything was flipping over real fast. And I would send it over to Tommy. And then eventually he's like, oh, I go, there's another inspection report. You want? He's like, no, don't even want to look at that trash. Like, it's just, it's so bad. Like, because sometimes, man, like, how many pages are usually, like, you're beginning, you have like your introduction, or you almost, it's like four or five pages.
Yep.
I mean, I've gotten, and then you have the same thing at the end of the inspection report.
you have a summary, and then you have the whole body of the report with the pictures.
And normally you're installing, you got pictures
Right.
you're putting in it, breakdown of everything. And then sometimes I'll get these, like, let's say your house is, I don't know, your house is pretty big. But anyways, on a house like this with a pool and everything else you have in your back, Mike, I've gotten like an inspection report that's like 17 pages of absolutely nothing. So that means there's like, the first 10 or 12 are just standard paperwork that
Right.
come into an inspection without any of the actual stuff that's done.
Dude, when we bought this house, it was kind of weird because
You didn't use me, and now you work with me.
yeah.
Didn't use Tommy as an inspector.
Me and the wife did, we didn't know what we're doing. This is the first time buying a house.
Yeah.
So the old owners, we ended up using an inspector that they knew, which
Shouldn't make a difference, quite honestly, if you're doing the right thing.
well, here's the thing. So we bought when we first walked the house, it was nice and cold in here. It was, felt great. And when they were moving out, well, here before let's go back a little bit. One of their owners' mother had passed away, and they're like, "Can
In
we
this
can we-"
room?
No, not here. They're like, "Can we? Do you mind if we stay in the house for another 4 weeks and we'll pay y'all rent as we stay?"
Yeah.
We're like, oh, "Okay, cool." So we got it all set up to where they're paying us, for the month that they stayed here, and we still had our condo, so it was like no big deal. But when they were moving out, I was downstairs. They had all the doors open and they had fans going. I'm like, it doesn't feel cold in here anymore, dude. Like, what the fuck, Well, they moved out and our downstairs unit wasn't producing cold air.
Yeah.
So we had an inspector come. It was the one that they had recommended to us because we didn't know any better. And they said everything was fine. Well, shit wasn't fine, dude. It was like, it was bad. So the money that we had saved up to like buy new furniture and all kinds of shit now went to a brand new air conditioning unit for downstairs, which cost us $6,000. Like, well, that is ate up $6,000 of our money.
Furniture and everything.
So yeah, dude, the downstairs unit was shot. So it's like, fuck, man, like,
Yep. When did you buy this house?
shit, man.
Like what month wise?
It was summer.
Okay, yeah,
It was
because that's
summer.
when, like,
It was
because the
summer.
winter time, you can't turn an AC on when how cold? 32 degrees, because it'll freeze
60.
up. 60?
Under 60, and you're not supposed to run the AC.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I've talked to AC techs about this, and they said because you take a chance on damaging the compressor. It's the transfer of the freon from a gas to a liquid, something to do with that if it's too cold, which makes sense.
It's not happening properly.
Right.
Right.
And they said, if it's 50 or 55 degrees out, you can still run it without damaging the compressor, but you're not going to get good temperatures either. So
Right.
that's why we're the 60 degrees or under. Yeah, you can run it and it'll be blowing cold right now because it's 50 degrees outside.
Right.
Yeah.
But come April,
Yeah.
it's not blowing cold anymore. And then they're coming back to me asking why, why'd I say it was operating properly? So, but, and that's Trek. Trek says under 60 degrees, we don't run it.
And that's, I think that's a big misconception for what inspectors do too. Because ideally, like I always put it this way: when someone's like, "Well, why should I get a home inspection?" And I'm like, "Well, there's multiple reasons. Like, I once had a client that said he had a home inspector, and then we went in, and then home inspector didn't show up. He's like, "That's okay, Dan. I figured me and you just got this." I'm like, I can't negotiate anything to begin with because my opinion of something means I can't negotiate anything.
Right.
I even had one before where the person's dad or father-in-law or uncle, some crap like that, was about to get his license to become a home inspector. So he came and did the inspection of the house. He made it sound like he would be a fully licensed inspector. And, and it was like a time where it's like, hey, we only have a couple days to get this inspection done and get everything back over. And then when we're done, he was just like, "Oh, I can't write a report for you because I'm not licensed yet." I was like,
Oh, Jesus.
I go, "So we're not going to have a home inspection. Like y'all are going to, there's multiple offers. Someone else is waiting to take this house. So we can't negotiate."
He saw it on
because,
YouTube.
Dude, it's the worst.
YouTube inspectors,
Oh,
right?
yeah. I've
Oh.
seen plenty of them. Plenty of them.
That's how Tommy got his license.
Yeah. Cracker Jack's box and YouTube. You got it.
So, Tommy, let me ask you this. What made you want to get into inspecting homes or like make a career out of this? Like, is there something that said, you know what, this is what I want to do?
Well, I was in the oil and gas industry.
I own a liquor store too.
Well, I did that before. Yeah,
First time I
before
ever drank
oil-
moonshine.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, that's later.
Drink moonshine there. First time I ever had moonshine.
Director's cut.
Yeah, I was in the oil and gas industry for about 12 years. And I went through a couple company buyouts, and eventually I finally got laid off after 12 years. And I guess I was, my late 30s. And I always had a thought of, having my own business or doing something on my own. As I'm sitting there applying for other desk jobs, same thing I was doing, I was like, well, if I don't do something different now, I'm going to be too old to do it if I
Right.
wait too much later. And I was actually looking into maybe trying to get into flipping houses. And somehow, somewhere along the way, I ran across home inspections. And my wife, she was a teacher. She's still a teacher. She went back to teaching. So right there, I was laid off, and we were living off a teacher's salary. And so she came home, and I got to tell her, "Oh, I didn't find a job today, but I'm going to buy a franchise instead." Yeah, so that went over real well. But the cool part of that was after 3 or 4 years, she was actually able to quit teaching and work with me.
Oh, awesome, man.
So, but then she worked with me for about 3 years, and she decided she was tired of adults and went back to kids. Yeah,
She's really just tired of you.
just me. Yeah.
No, but I remember in the early stages, you were doing one of those things in Deer Park for like a title company. And
Yeah.
Nicole, like his wife, I've known since we were in elementary school. So, she's like, I just don't know. This is so. I go, look. I go, man, the one thing about Tommy is he knows everybody. Everybody loves him for whatever reason. Like, I'm friends with him and I hate him, So, but I was like, man, just the first couple years are rough. Just like right now, man, you're rough right now. You know, like it's not easy. This isn't like when you go to work for yourself. The only person you have, you can blame everything else, but you also got to get mad at yourself. Like you want to fire someone, fucking fire yourself, Tommy. You're going to have to hire yourself tomorrow because someone's got to get back to work, you know?
Right.
But I mean, Nicole was worried, you know, and I was like, dude, just trust me. The first couple years are going to suck. And then since then, man, you've been able to do so well. Like, you've done really well. I mean,
And
you know,
it just grows, you know, you get
you don't
referrals.
have a yacht or anything yet, but, you know, that's yet.
That's yet. It's in the, yeah, I'll go home and tell Nicole we're getting that tonight.
Like, you know,
But I mean, it's just, yeah, it's just a time and it's a process, you know, and now you get referrals, you know, 2 or 3 years later, you just, you know, I'm constantly getting referrals or, yeah, my sister had you do their inspection a year ago or whatever the case is, you know. And,
like, you know, I got into real estate and, when I was very excited, gung-ho about it, told my wife about it, and she's like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm very serious." Very next day, she's like, "All right, let's go get your classes." Very next day, we woke up, went to Champions, enrolled in school, and got my license. And, you know, I hear stories of Daniel talking about the old Wild West where houses just flying off the market. And I got into this genre of, you know, work when it's like it's sucking really bad right now.
slow down.
Man, but a lot of people that were so used to getting just stuff thrown at them are having to get out right now.
Right.
Like, I went to walk a house of our friends the other day, and one of their friends was an agent. Apparently he's going back to teaching because, you know, it's gotten rough. Like, man, last 2 years before last were real rough for me. Like, lowest I've done in like a decade of this. And last year I had a good year, which is hard because, you know, and most people didn't. Most agents didn't, you know, make what I made last year, you know, which is, you know, I made my average, which is great. This is all I need. It gives me enough time to be with my kids, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I need more of it because, you know, the 2 years before that sucked. But, you know, man, it's a hard thing. But like in the next 10 years, they predict we'll sell more houses than in the last 10. So, I mean, you know, but they tell us shit every year.
Right,
you know?
right.
Like, hey,
That's
interest rates are going to
hearsay.
be at 1%. Like, all right, cool. But no, man, everything's starting to come down a little bit more. I know by the time this airs, it'll be a little bit like a few weeks from now. But like, you know, we'll see where rates go and if we haven't blown up anything crazy in the world. But I mean, man, it's gonna get good. This summer should be a good summer. Like, how do you prep for that? Like, I mean, I know you got a couple employees. Do you still look for like part-time people, or can you bring people in, or is it just like we're just gonna go all in? Like, how do you prep when you think something's gonna get really big again?
Well, like last year, I brought in a third inspector, so I've got 3 full-time inspectors now. But that's where it's nerve-wracking is because, and the problem with us is it takes so long to get licensed. So I can't just have anybody working for me. You got to be licensed, you know, and it's a 6-8 month process.
It is. Yep.
So you know, right now we're sitting pretty good. We were able to handle 900 inspections last year.
Wow.
Crap load, dude.
Dude.
It was
Dude,
we
that's
did a lot. You
All
know,
in for free.
yeah.
Come back out. Come on, do this for free.
So, you know, I think we're sitting pretty good for this year, but yeah, it's always in your mind. Okay, do I need to bring somebody else on? But now I got another mouth to feed.
And the thing about you is like the people that work for you, like they love you because they know that you care that they're going to be able to feed their family. And you need to, because if not, then you're not going to have good employees. And then also when you get busy, you don't have anyone under you to work, and then you turn down jobs.
It's important that your employees like you. You know,
and
it really is.
I mean, I do everything I can to take care of them. I make sure they're getting the jobs too. I mean, I could be going out and doing some of these inspections, but I make sure
Tommy likes to stay home in his house and just go do
I do the inspections that are in my neighborhood. That consist of 2 streets.
Yeah.
But it's good for you because you handle all the overflow. You don't handle like the crap of like, oh, you need me to go do this stupid. I mean, you're also running a company, but you'll have to go do like, oh, you don't have the gas on, I'll go back out there.
Right.
But I mean, and even if they think you're staying home, you're still running a business. Like, people don't understand running a business is not easy. Like, even this stupid ass podcast that me and Mike have been doing, it's like, it's so much extra work that we're like, crap.
It's a
all
job.
right.
It's a job. Dude.
Yeah, it's like, oh wow, we need better lighting. We got informed. We need this. Like, it's everything. Like, oh,
Never
we need
stops.
more.
It seems like, you know, it's just one thing after another. And with a business, you never get caught up. I'm never caught up. I don't feel like I'm ever can just sit down and say, "Oh, okay, I got everything caught up today." It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, you were trying to get over here today earlier, and then you sent me a picture. Like, Tommy's running late today. He was like to go run around and do some stuff. He's like, dude, as soon as I got home, he went to like watch his kid's soccer game for school. So like, I'll be over a little bit after. Like, all right, cool, we'll be hanging out waiting for you. And then all of a sudden, you're like, hey, I'm running late. Phone's blowing up, of course. Like the one day that I think I have nothing going on, the phone's blowing up. And then when you're going to leave your house, what happened?
Yeah, and apparently my next door neighbor bought some furniture, and the furniture truck blocked me in the driveway. I had to
So let me get this straight. Parked in front of your driveway. Yeah. What? You know, that just hurts my brain even thinking about that. Yeah, he showed me the picture. It was wild.
Yeah.
It was wild. I'm like,
I had to drive like 10
Dude.
foot down the sidewalk in my
You get
front
home,
yard to
you
get
home. Your wife's like, why the hell are you driving? Like,
I've been laying on the horn. Bah!
tire marks across the front yard. Really?
You're not getting yard of the month, I can tell you that.
Now,
So I know we're getting pretty close to time right now. So I've I guess one or two more questions to ask you, Tommy. I guess this is a good one here. Okay.
What's your opinion on the economic downfall in the Middle East and with global warming being an issue? What do you think on that?
So
Trump's got it all under control.
let's hope. How can sellers prepare their home to avoid surprises in an inspection?
So we can actually do a pre-listing inspection.
Okay.
And we do offer that, and we come pretty much do a complete inspection of their house. And then they've got, pretty much a to-do list of everything that needs to be done. That's actually great for them because if they're proactive and want to get their house up to par to sell, some people don't probably.
No
Some
hidden
people
surprises.
don't. Right.
Yeah.
Now they could actually show this inspection to seller or to buyers and say, I've had all this repaired. I had this inspection done 2 months ago and I've repaired everything,
Nice.
or whatever, So if they want to be proactive like that, that is something we could do for them.
Yeah, I would say like I think I was going to say it earlier, but what I always tell people is it's almost like, oh, this inspector didn't do this or he didn't find this. Like, it's like this, man. They're like a general practitioner. You go to your doctor and they evaluate. If they don't see any reason to go like, hey, let's go and get the foundation checked. Let's go. If the AC is blowing cold, I don't know it's going to go out tomorrow. So to me, it's like going to a general practitioner. You're going to go, you're going to a very informed, educated set of eyes. You're looking at certain things, but you're not going to find everything. You're not going to cut open a wall to see if there's a leak there. Now you have, the infrared gun, as I call it, to go and look for stuff. But I mean, there's only so much you can find. But, you're about to go spend a lot of money on a house. I would spend a few $100s on an inspection. I tell it to everybody.
Like beforehand, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would always get a home inspection, especially on new construction.
Got a good
Don't
story.
wait till like you're about to sell the house and then all of a sudden
if I'm going to sell my house, I might do one, it just depends how new my house is. If depends on the situation, but if I've lived in a house for a long time and I know certain things aren't up to code and there's certain things I might need to negotiate, like, man, let me go get a home inspection now. Another really good one is when you do your home inspection, they'll do follow-up ones on like new construction. They'll give you like a 1-year warranty. So you go ahead and schedule that out 10 months from now. So Tommy will come back out, check everything in your house to make sure it's still like it was when you bought it 10 months ago. Because those, unfortunately, with most new construction, I mean, you love new construction, Tommy.
Love them.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times I've heard people say, like some of the contractors, like, we don't really care how long this house lasts. It's got to get past the warranty, which is a shitty thing. You're selling someone a house, man.
And a lot of these builders do not want us coming out.
Oh, no, they never want you coming out. They don't want me coming out either because then I negotiate more money down.
Well, I'm actually doing an inspection for Mandy Schenk on Friday. And she called me and said they've been asking this builder when they can do their third-party inspection. And they finally, she called me last night, I think, and said they finally told them they can only have their inspection done Friday morning at 9 o'clock or whatever.
Super.
And like just trying to make it as difficult as possible. And I see it all the time. Builders just trying to make it as difficult as possible for their buyers to have us out for a third-party inspection. They just, and you would think they would want the best for their client, but a lot of them don't. Some of them do. But there's a lot that don't.
And it's not even the same name of the company. It just depends who the actual builder is. If someone's
Right.
confident, it could be, ABC housing here and then an ABC housing, 50 miles away in a different development, and then it's like total trash. It's like, okay, so it just varies. Let's see.
Oh, you remind me of a good story.
What you
When
got?
we talk about cutting the wall out. Had a client we did an inspection for, and did a WDI or termite inspection, and they had previous treatment. We noted that they had previous treatment for termites, and about 3 or 4 months later, they contacted. No, they didn't even call me or anything. They sent me an email that was written like it was from a lawyer. I knew nothing what was going on. It was actually a roofing company that they owned, but they wrote this whole email up like they were a lawyer and used their roofing company's legal name, that they were requesting me to pay $175,000 or something for termite damage that was in the house. And I was like, okay, y'all didn't even call me or anything. And so I just turned it over to my insurance company. I was like, these people ain't calling me, so my insurance company's going to take care of it. Insurance company gets them to send pictures. The whole house is stripped down to the studs. And there was termite damage on the studs in the wall. I mean, when we did the inspection, it was being lived in at the time.
Right.
And so they stripped down all the walls, knowing there was previous termites, and now they find damage on the studs and thought we should have found the damage inside the wall. It was, I don't know, it was funny. It was, we nipped that in the bud quick, but I was like, so y'all stripped this whole house down, and I should have just ripped all the walls out and see what's going on inside. Yeah.
Well, this thing quit recording.